Very good morning to one and all. In the previous class, what you have discussed, just I'll give you a small recap of those things. Now we are discussing about polymer technology. Polymer technology syllabus చూడండి అని ఒకసారి పొలిమరైజేషన్ ప్లాస్టిక్స్ పొలిమరైజేషన్ లో మనం ఇప్పుడు నేర్చుకుంటున్నాం ఇంట్రడక్షన్ మెథడ్స్ ఆఫ్ పొలిమరైజేషన్ emulsion polymerization suspension polymerization mechanical properties then followed by the plastics. Next, when you're discussing about the polymers previous examination వచ్చిన క్వశ్చన్స్ అన్ని కూడా నేను క్లియర్ గా పెట్టాను. Now these are the questions. Each question is asking for 14 marks. essay question అండి. essay questions లో మీకు 2 multiple choice ఇస్తున్నాడు, A and B ఇస్తున్నాడు, and the multiple choice of A and B the calculation of 14 marks అండి. నేను ఆల్రెడీ మెన్షన్ చేశాను 14 marks. essay questions అన్ని కూడా నేను పవర్ పాయింట్స్ స్లైడ్ చేస్తాను, తర్వాత మీరు ఒకసారి డీటెయిల్ గా చూడండి. నెక్స్ట్, టెక్స్ట్ బుక్స్ ఆల్రెడీ మెన్షన్ చేశాను. జైన్ అని చెప్పేసి మనకి ధనపతి రాయ్ పబ్లిషర్స్ రెఫరెన్స్ కాపీ అంటాడు. ఎస్ఎస్ దారో కూడా మనకి లైబ్రరీలో అవైలబిలిటీలో ఉందండి, అది కూడా చూడండి. దెన్ టెక్స్ట్ బుక్ కండిషన్స్లో మనకి మంచి స్టూడెంట్ ఫ్రెండ్లీ టెక్స్ట్ బుక్ ఏంటంటే విజిఎస్ పబ్లిషర్స్. కొంచెం ఈజీగా అండర్స్టాండ్ అయ్యేది ఏంటంటే విజిఎస్ పబ్లిషర్ చూడండి. నెక్స్ట్, in yesterday class we have discussed what is known to be the addition condensation polymers. Right, I will tell you what is the difference between addition polymers and condensation polymers. In my previous class to చెప్పాను what is known to be the addition polymer. If the polymerization takes place itself in addition monomers, if the polymerization takes place in the monomers and those monomers that takes place itself అంటే మనం additional force apply చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. When we are placing the two monomers easily combine. They can easily combine to form a polymer is going to be addition polymer. Then what is going to be condensation polymerization? In the condensation polymerization, the polymerization takes place by the condensation functional group. జాగ్రత్తగా చూడండి అన్న. Addition polymerization, condensation polymerization. In the addition polymerization, there is no requirement of catalyst. In the condensation polymerization, there should be requirement of catalyst. In addition polymerization, the monomer must containing double bond, whereas in the condensation polymerization, the monomer must containing functional group linkage. Right? Next, there is no byproduct identified in the addition polymerization, and there is a byproduct identified in the addition condensation polymerization. Yesterday we discussed this one. In addition polymerization, ethylene gives rise to polyethylene, styrene gives rise to polystyrene, vinyl chloride gives rise to polyvinyl chloride. In addition polymerization, there is no requirement of catalyst or an additional fire force, right? Where when we are discussing about condensation, there should be the requirement of catalyst. Why? Because it can able to form the byproduct like H2O and as well as CH3OH. There is no byproduct formation is addition. If there is a possibility of byproduct formation, condensation. Next, the addition polymerization, the mechanism is a rapid mechanism. So we require less temperature followed by the less pressure condition. Okay, at low temperature, at the low pressure condition, addition polymerization product formation takes place. Where when we are discussing about condensation, the condensation mechanism is very slow. The condensation mechanism is very slow, so to increase the process of polymerization, it requires catalyst. An initiator is required to start the polymerization. Initiator సరిపోతుందండి ఇక్కడ. But when we are discussing about condensation polymerization, in the condensation polymerization, a catalyst is required. The polymer have the same composition of the monomer. Why? Because in addition polymerization, there is no byproduct. మనం డైరెక్ట్ గా మోనోమర్స్ యాడ్ చేస్తున్నారు. ఈ మోనోమర్స్ డైరెక్ట్ గా పాలిమర్స్ కింద కన్వర్ట్ అయిపోతున్నాయి. కాబట్టి ఇక్కడ మనం ఏం యాడ్ చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. ఎక్స్ట్రాగా there is no change in the composition, right? Monomers are directly converting into polymer. Reactants are known to be monomer, and those reactants are directly converting into polymer. But when we are discussing about the composition, there is no change in the composition in the addition polymerization. Then what is going to be condensation polymerization? When we are discussing about condensation polymerization, there is a change in the composition. Why? Because the monomers which containing functional group linkage, then there is a possibility of removal of water molecule. Yesterday మనం చూసామండి. Yesterday we have discussed about nylon 6,6. Nylon 6,6 is a combination of adipic acid plus hexamethylene diamine. When the hexamethylene diamine is combined with adipic acid, then what we are getting is known to be that nylon 6,6. And this nylon 6,6 containing the byproduct like H2O and as well as methyl alcohol. Because of the loss of byproducts in the condensation polymerization, you see again, because the loss of byproduct in the condensation polymerization, so there is a change in the composition. Now, when you're discussing about addition polymerization reactions are exothermic and condensation polymerizations are non-exothermic reactions. When we are taking the example for addition polymerization, polythene, polyvinyl chloride, polystyrene as the best example for addition polymerization. When we are discussing about condensation polymerization, yesterday we have discussed nylon 6,6, polyester, and silicon are the best example. Simple and addition polymerization, there is no byproduct. Condensation polymerization, there is a byproduct. Addition polymerization is a rapid mechanism. Condensation polymerization is a slow mechanism. Addition polymerization, there is no requirement of catalyst. Condensation polymerization, there should be the requirement of catalyst. Addition polymerization, when we are compared with the monomers to polymer, there is no change in the composition, whereas in the condensation polymerization, because the loss of the byproduct, the composition that might be changes. Addition polymerization is exothermic reaction, and the condensation reaction is going to be that non-exothermic reaction. Addition polymerization example is the polythene, polyvinyl chloride, polystyrene. In the condensation polymerization, the best example is nylon 6,6, polyester, and as well as silicon. Now we will see the continuation. Today we are discussing about methods of polymerization. What is known to be that methods of polymerization? When I'm discussing about methods of polymerization, yesterday we have discussed the different classification of polymers. Polymers are classified based on the mechanism. There are the two types of the mechanism. The first one is going to be addition. The second one is going to be that condensation. Addition polymerization, condensation polymerization. Now, based on that, the physical state of the monomers, based on that, the physical state of the monomers, when we are discussing, there are the two types of the polymerization mechanism. The first category of mechanism I'm saying as homogeneous method, and the second classification I'm saying as heterogeneous method. Now, what is the difference between a homogeneous compared with the heterogeneous? The word that homogeneous is nothing but homogeneous of two classification. The first one is solution, the second one is bulk. The what is the difference between a homogeneous polymerization compared with that bulk polymerization? In the homogeneous polymerization, when we are taking the monomers and these monomers are dissolved into the suitable solvents, just we are taking the monomers. In the homogeneous polymerization, the monomers will be the same. Best example, ethylene and ethylene, homogeneous. Vinyl chloride, gives rise to polyvinyl chloride, homogeneous. Styrene, polystyrene, homogeneous. When we are taking an addition polymerization or the homogeneous polymerization, in the homogeneous polymerization, we are taking organic solvent. So I'm saying here a suitable solvent. The word that suitable solvent indicating that it is known to be a miscible condition, right? Now we are getting the miscible condition. Then what will happen? When these monomers are added in the suitable solvent, in the presence of initiator, the word initiator is nothing but which initiating the polymerization. Sometimes the initiator is known to be hydrogen peroxide, right? Hydrogen peroxide is known to be initiator. What is the role of initiator? The initiator initiating the polymerization reaction. You see here, what is the requirements identified by the polymerization reaction? The main requirements when we're discussing about polymerization, it should have the first condition monomers. It must containing the monomers, right? And the monomer 1 and the monomer 2. Best example, I'm preparing polythene. When I would like to prepare a polythene, I do require monomer 1 is ethylene and the monomer 2 is going to be ethylene. Ethylene plus ethylene, I do require initiator, hydrogen peroxide. Then what happens? Ethylene plus ethylene in the organic solvent. I'm repeating. In the organic solvent, when these monomers are allowed to dissolve in the suitable solvent, followed by the addition of initiator, which initiating the polymerization process. Now the mixture is kept in the room temperature with a constant agitation. I will tell you what is agitation. Simple and agitation అంటే ఏం లేదు నాన్న. ఇక్కడ మోనోమర్స్ తీసుకుంటున్నారు, మోనోమర్స్ కి మీరు ఇనిషియేటర్ యాడ్ చేస్తున్నారు, రూమ్ టెంపరేచర్ కండిషన్ ఏం చేస్తున్నారంటే కంటిన్యూస్ గా మిక్స్ చేయండి. మీరు ఎప్పుడైతే మిక్స్ చేస్తున్నారో దెన్ the mixture what we are getting is we are getting a precipitate. The precipitate is known to be polymer. Simple. Ethylene gaseous state. Then what is known to be a polymer? The polymer containing n number of monomers. When the n number of monomers are added, the molecular weight increases. When the molecular weight increases, the physical state is also changes. Initially, ethylene is a gaseous state, whereas the polythene is a precipitate. Gaseous state is converting into the solid state. In the homogeneous polymerization reaction, the first one is known to be solution. The solution containing only one phase. I'm repeating. Polymerization reaction takes place in only one phase is known to be the homogeneous. The first classification I'm saying is solution polymerization. Monomers are added in the suitable solvent by the initiator followed by the process of mixing. The mixing should be takes at the room temperature followed by the constant agitation, and finally what we are getting a precipitate. The precipitate should be filtered, washed, and as well as known to be the dried. The process what we are saying is solution polymerization. Okay, this is the first one, right? Now we will see the continuation here. What is the difference between a solution compared with the bulk? Simple and solution bulk, solution polymerization homogeneous, and the bulk polymerization is also known to be that homogeneous. Solution polymerization is the homogeneous, and the bulk polymerization is also known to be the homogeneous. Now, when we are discussing the difference between solution to the bulk, in the bulk polymerization, we are getting maximum amount of the product. Laboratory lo cheste mani solution polymerization antadana, then ఇండస్ట్రీలో చేసేదాన్ని బల్క్ పొలిమరైజేషన్ అంటారు. అంటే మనకు వచ్చిన ప్రెసిపిటేట్ పాలిమర్ అనేది మాక్సిమం అమౌంట్ లో వస్తుందండి బల్క్ అంటాడు, మినిమం అమౌంట్ లో వస్తుంది ఏమంటారండి సొల్యూషన్ అంటారు. సో ఇన్ బోత్ కండిషన్ హోమోజీనియస్ కండిషన్ సొల్యూషన్ బల్క్, ఇన్ బోత్ కండిషన్ కామన్ ప్రాక్టీస్ ఏంటండి మోనోమర్స్, సాల్వెంట్, ఇనిషియేటర్, పొలిమరైజేషన్ ప్రాసెస్, temperature, room temperature condition, constant stirring, followed by we are getting a precipitation. Precipitate is known to be the polymer. The polymer should be washed with the distilled water and should be dried. The first classification, what I'm saying is a homogeneous polymerization method. Next one. Now let me explain what is known to be the heterogeneous method, right? When I'm explaining about heterogeneous method, now we are taking the monomers in the aqueous phase. Here I'm taking the monomers in the aqueous phase. Just now taking the monomers in the aqueous phase, then what will happen here? When we are taking the monomers in the aqueous phase with the monomer is containing heterogeneous character. I will tell you what is known to be the heterogeneous character. Monomers అనేవి miscible అయితే homogeneous అండి, insoluble అయితే heterogeneous, right? Aqueous phase. Most of that monomers are known to be organic. మన పాలిమర్ లో మనం యాడ్ చేసే monomers అన్ని కూడా ఏంటండి organic. When these monomers were added to water, the monomers containing organic nature, when they were added to water, which contain a heterogeneous character, then I would like to add surfactants. The surfactants increasing the extent of solubility. Then I would like to add initiator. Initiator is also increasing the extent of solubility. Now, to increase the complete miscibility of monomers with respect to the solvent, monomer solvent extent of solubility increase చేయడానికి నేను ఏం చేస్తున్నానంటే just I would like to use temperature followed by the pressure. Now, when we are increasing the higher temperature followed by the higher pressure, the resultant what we are getting is the high molecular weight polymer is obtained. Now, let me have a comparison between the homogeneous heterogeneous. In the heterogeneous polymerization method, I'm repeating, in the heterogeneous polymerization method, we are taking the monomers in the aqueous phase. In homogeneous polymerization method, we are taking the monomers in the organic phase. Organic phase, homogeneous condition, aqueous phase, heterogeneous condition. Next. Then what is the difference between a suspension polymerization when compared with that emulsion polymerization? Emulsion polymerization, suspension polymerization, both are belong to heterogeneous. The difference between emulsion followed by suspension, emulsion we are getting less amount of the product, with the suspension we are getting the bulk amount of the product. I'm repeating. In emulsion, we are getting the less amount of the product, whereas in the suspension, we are getting the bulk amount of the product. If you are getting the bulk amount of the product is known to be the suspension. If you are getting the less amount of the product is known to be that, then emulsion followed by the suspension. Emulsion, you are getting less amount of the product, and suspension containing the bulk amount of the product. Process అంతా సేమ్ నాన్న. ప్రాసెస్ ఏంటండి మోనోమర్స్ తీసుకుంటున్నారు, aqueous phase తీసుకుంటున్నారు. Aqueous phase ఇనిషియల్గా ఏంటి హెట్రోజీనియస్ నేచర్. హెట్రోజీనియస్ అంటే ఏంటన్నా మోనోమర్స్ మనం తీసుకున్న వాటర్లో ఈజీగా సాల్యుబుల్ కాదు. Then what we are using initiator. We are increasing the temperature, we are increasing the pressure, then what happens? The polymerization process starts. After the completion of polymerization, we are getting the product. The product is a precipitate. The precipitate, what we are saying as heterogeneous precipitation method. Then, now we can have a two classification. Again, I would like to mention the first classification, homogeneous method. The second classification is a heterogeneous method. Next. Now we're discussing about the main content of today's topic is known to be that properties of polymers. I will tell you what is known to be that the property of polymers. Now, when we are discussing about the properties of the polymers, polymers containing the two main properties. The first property I'm taking as a physical property. The second property I'm saying as a mechanical property. I'm repeating. The first property is known to be that the physical property, and the second property is known to be that mechanical property. What is known to be a physical property? When we are discussing about the physical property, and here I'm discussing about crystalline and as well as amorphous. Polymers two classification. The polymers are known to be the two classification. The first classification is known to be the crystalline polymer, and the second classification is known to be the amorphous polymer. What is known to be crystalline? The crystalline polymers which containing the monomers, and the monomers are regular arranged. I'm repeating. Monomers అనేవి రెగ్యులర్ గా అరేంజ్ అయి ఉంటాయి అంటే పాలిమర్ చైన్ మనం తీసుకున్నాం. The polymer chain is the combination of monomers. If these monomers are arranged in a regular fashion, if these monomers are arranged in the regular fashion, then they are known to be crystalline. Best example, HDPE, high density polyethylene is a crystalline. Perchlorate is known to be crystalline. The degree of structural order arrangement, I'm repeating, the degree of structural ordered arrangement of a polymer molecule, then which is having the high degree of order of arrangement, then they are known to be the crystalline. And these crystalline molecule containing a closed packed geometry or a regular geometry, and the geometry that giving rise to the higher rigidity, higher density, higher strength. Because of the crystalline, because of the crystalline, the polymers containing high rigidity, high density, and as well as the higher strength. A complete crystalline polymer tend to attain brittleness. The point గుర్తుంచుకోండి. ఇప్పుడు నేను different polymers ఇచ్చానండి. Now we should identify which is a crystalline, which is amorphous. నేను HDPE ఇచ్చాను, LDPE ఇచ్చాను. LDPE used in the making of paper cars, packing covers. Lower density polythene మనం కవర్ ప్యాకింగ్ కవర్స్ యూసేజ్ లో వాడతా ఉన్నాను. To prepare packing covers, I would like to use LDPE. To prepare pipe, I would like to use HDPE. ఓకే, నేను HDPE మీకు ఇచ్చాను. HDPE is known to be crystalline. ఏం చెక్ చేస్తారండి? మీరు ఫోర్స్ అప్లై చేయండి. ఫోర్స్ అప్లై చేస్తే బ్రిటిల్ నేచర్ వస్తుంది అన్నమాట. ఏ కంప్లీట్ క్రిస్టలైన్ పాలిమర్ టెండ్ టు అటైన్ బ్రిటిల్ నేచర్. ఐ విల్ టెల్ యూ వాట్ ఈస్ నోన్ టు బి ద బ్రిటిల్ నేచర్. మనం ఎప్పుడైతే ఫోర్స్ అప్లై చేస్తున్నామో పాలిమర్ అనేది బ్రేక్ అవుతుంది. ఈజీగా బ్రేక్ అయితే దాన్ని ఏమంటాడండి? బ్రిటిల్ నేచర్ అంటారు. దెన్ వాట్ ఈస్ నోన్ టు బి a crystalline? You see here, the crystalline polymers containing a regular geometry. You see the monomers which is arranged in regular fashion. The monomers which is arranged in the regular fashion. Monomers regular arranged దాన్ని ఏమంటాడండి? crystalline అంటారు. Then what is known to be amorphous? You see here, when I'm discussing about amorphous polymers containing irregular geometry. This is monomer 1, it is monomer 2, and this is the monomer 3, and it is the monomer 4. There is no regular geometry, right? Now it containing some coiled geometry. So when we are discussing about amorphous nature, amorphous polymers, right? The amorphous polymers containing irregular geometry. The amorphous polymers which containing irregular geometry, now they are known to be that amorphous polymers. Amorphous polymer containing coiled geometry. Amorphous polymers can be molded into desired shapes. And simple enough. Amorphous polymers containing excellent flexible. Best example, మీరు పాలిథిన్ కవర్ తీసుకోండి, కవర్ ఫ్లెక్సిబుల్ ఉంటుందండి. పాలిథిన్ పైప్ తీసుకున్నాను, పాలిథిన్ పైప్ containing brittle nature. The simple example, a regular geometry is a crystalline, irregular geometry is amorphous. Okay. High solid nature is a crystalline, the low solid nature indicating that amorphous. There is no flexibility is a crystalline, there is a possibility of flexibility amorphous. Flexible గా ఉన్న polymers ని amorphous అంటాడు. ఈజీగా మన షేప్ కింద కన్వర్ట్ చేయొచ్చు. They can easily molded into desired shape. Now these polymers are easily molded into desired shape. If they are easily molded into desired shape, they are known to be amorphous. They cannot easily mold into desired shape, they are known to be the crystalline, right? Now we will have the two main classification of physical state only. Physical state, when we are discussing, the first classification is the crystalline, the second classification amorphous. Now the next content what I'm discussing is the mechanical property. I will tell you what is known to be the mechanical property of polymer. Mechanical properties, three classifications, which is classified into three main types. The first one is a mechanical strength. The second one I'm saying as a plasticity. The third one I'm saying as elasticity. I'm repeating. What is the difference between the three cases, right? ఎవరు హ్యాండ్స్ రేస్ చేస్తున్నారు? హ్యాండ్స్ రేస్ చేసే వాళ్ళు ఒకసారి మీ చాట్ బాక్స్లో చాట్ చేయండి, మెసేజ్ పెట్టండి. ఐ విల్ సీ ద మెసేజ్, రైట్? Now, so we'll see that mechanical property, right? What is known to be the mechanical property here? Mechanical property, when we are discussing the mechanical property of PVC, PVC having the strong mechanical strength when compared with the polythene. Just in the two polymers which exchange. When we are discussing the two polymers, the one should be polyvinyl chloride and another should be that one should be the polyvinyl chloride and another should be the polythene. Just comparison should remain. Polyvinyl chloride is stronger than polythene. Why? Because polyvinyl chloride containing the straight chain isomers, whereas polythene containing the branched chain isomers, right? The polyvinyl chloride which containing the high molecular force of interaction, the point when you are discussing about intermolecular force of attraction, I'm repeating. When you're discussing intermolecular force of attraction, intermolecular force of attraction is identified in between the monomers. What is known to be polymer? Yesterday we cheppanu. Polymers ante enti? Polymer is a combination of monomer. Ethylene, what is ethylene, Nana? Ethylene is a combination of, polythene is a combination of ethylene plus ethylene plus ethylene plus ethylene. The polythene is a combination of the poly units of ethylene. Then what is known to be polyvinyl chloride? Polyvinyl chloride is a combination of vinyl chloride plus vinyl chloride plus vinyl chloride, right? Now, when here is the two conditions, right? The first condition I'm saying as polyvinyl chloride is a combination of vinyl chloride and a polythene. It's a combination of ethylene. When we are comparing the two monomers, right? This is the first polymer and it is known to be the second polymer. When we are discussing about the two polymers, the PVC containing the highest strongness when compared with polythene. PVC containing the highest strongness when compared with that polythene, right? Now it is about that mechanical strength. When we are discussing జాగ్రత్తగా గుర్తుంచుకున్నాను మెకానికల్ స్ట్రెంత్ మనం ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేసేటప్పుడు మెకానికల్ స్ట్రెంత్ విచ్ ఈస్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ద త్రీ కండిషన్స్ అండి. ద ఫస్ట్ కండిషన్ molecular weight. When the molecular weight increases, mechanical strength increases. The second very very important condition, intermolecular forces. When the intermolecular forces increases, mechanical strength increases. I'm repeating. When the intermolecular forces increases, mechanical strength increases. Second condition. The third condition, I'm saying, when the brittle nature increases, then the mechanical strength increases. The more is the brittle nature, the more is the mechanical strength, right? Now, because of the three conditions, I would like to explain crystalline polymers containing high mechanical strength when compared with the amorphous. The crystalline containing the more mechanical strength when compared with the amorphous strength, right? Now, this is for the first mechanical properties of polymers, mechanical strength. I will tell you the second classification, what is known to be the plastic deformation, right? Let me tell you what is known to be the plastic deformation. The plastic deformation, when we are discussing, plastic deformation is nothing but flexibility only. Best example. The more is the flexibility, the more is the plastic deformation. The more is the plasticity. And మన polymers ని number of shapes కింద మనం కన్వర్ట్ చేయగలిగితే దాన్ని ఏమంటుందంటే plastic deformation or plasticity అని చెప్తారు. So the plastic which containing n number of particles, right? The plastic which containing the high molding property. I'm repeating, the plastic which containing high molding property at high temperature and high pressure conditions. When we are increasing the temperature, the plastics can be easily molded. Based on the two conditions, based on the condition, we can have a two classification. Recyclable plastic, non-recyclable plastic, which can easily remolded, reshaped, which may not be remolded, reshaped. The best example is polythene is remolded, polyvinyl chloride remolded, reshaped, polystyrene remolded, reshaped. But when I'm discussing about bakelite, bakelite cannot be easily remolded or reshaped. Bakelite, which is not easily remolded or that reshaped, right? Then, now we're discussing about the second classification, right? The second classification, what we're saying is the plastic deformation. The third classification, I'm discussing elasticity. Some of the polymers, they are known to be rubbers. In some of the polymers, they are known to be rubbers. Rubbers are nothing but elastomers. Rubbers are known to be soft solid. Rubbers are extracted from the plant sources. Plant నుంచి rubber extract చేస్తాను. Plant నుంచి extract చేసే rubber మనం ఏం చెప్తామంటే latex అంటాం. Now, when we are discussing about the latex type of rubber and this rubber containing excellent elasticity, which containing elasticity property, okay, they can easily elongate it, right? They can easily elongate it, which containing excellent flexibility, they are known to be their elastomers, they are known to be their rubbers. So, When we are discussing about three properties, the first property mechanical strength, crystalline polymers containing high mechanical strength, high molecular weight polymers containing high mechanical strength, high interchange forces containing high mechanical strength. Example, PVC having high mechanical strength compared with that polythene. Bakelite containing high mechanical strength when compared with that polyvinyl chloride. First classification. The second classification we discussed is plastic deformation. The polymers which can easily molded by temperature condition. On temperature condition based చేసుకొని మనం ఈజీగా మౌల్డ్ చేసే పాలిమర్స్ ఏం చెప్తాడంటే which containing excellent plastic deformation. The third property I'm saying is elasticity. Elasticity polymers or elastomers. The best example rubber. Rubber they are known to be amorphous polymers. Rubbers they are known to be soft solids. Simple. Amorphous polymers are soft solids. Crystalline polymers are hard solids. Now, when we are discussing about rubber, the rubbers are known to be soft solids, and this rubber containing less interchange forces, the rubber containing coil geometry, and these rubbers containing elasticity. They can easily elongated when the force is applied. When the force is relieved, they come back to the original position. Now, these properties are known to be that physical and as well as mechanical property. Physical property, the first classification is crystalline property. Number two is known to be amorphous property. There is a third property identified in the physical and mentioned చేయలేదు ఒకసారి చూద్దాం. Now itself the industry demand two conditions అండి. ఇండస్ట్రీలో మనకి two conditions కావాలి. ఫస్ట్ కండిషన్ ఏంటి? ఫ్లెక్సిబిలిటీ కావాలి. పాలిమర్స్ మనం ఈజీగా మౌల్డ్ చేయగలగాలి కదా. మౌల్డ్ చేయడానికి ఏమంటాడు? ఫ్లెక్సిబిలిటీ అంటారు. సెకండ్ కండిషన్ ఏంటి? మౌల్డ్ చేయగల మోర్ ఇస్ అ ఫ్లెక్సిబిలిటీ, లెసర్ ఇస్ అ ఫిజికల్ స్ట్రెంత్. అండ్ బట్ now the industry demand is they should have the flexibility and they should require high physical strength. So now we are taking crystalline embedded amorphous polymers, right? What is known to be their crystalline embedded amorphous polymers? In the crystalline embedded amorphous polymers, just I would like to add amorphous followed by the crystalline. Simple and amorphous polymers ni crystalline polymers ni equal ratio add చేద్దాం. నేను మళ్ళీ చెప్తున్నాను. Amorphous polymers ni crystalline polymers ni equal ratio add చేయాలి. You see here, what is known to be amorphous here? Amorphous indicating that irregular geometry, and the crystalline indicating that regular geometry. Now see this. This part indicating that crystallinity, and this part indicating that crystallinity, and this part indicating that crystallinity. Now the regular geometry indicating that crystallinity. Now the coil geometry చూడండి ఒకసారి జాగ్రత్తగా చూడండి. Now the coil geometry, right? Now it is known to be that irregular geometry. Irregular geometry ఏంటి ఏంటన్నా? It is known to be that amorphous. Regular geometry is a crystalline. Irregular geometry is known to be amorphous. When the two types of the polymers they combined, the combination gives rise to that crystalline embedded amorphous polymers. I'm repeating. The combination what we are getting is crystalline embedded polymers. Now, now let me have the further classification here. The polymers are classified based on their molding character, based on their molecular force of interaction. There are two types. The first classification thermoplastic, the second classification thermoset. Thermoplastic, thermoset. Thermoplastic, which containing long chain molecule, linear chain molecule, they can easily soften, they can easily remold it, they can easily reshape it. Thermoplastic ni మనం ఈజీగా remold చేయొచ్చు, reshape చేయొచ్చు. Plastic cover, we can remold a number of times. PET bottle, we can remold for number of times. And they are formed by the addition polymerization. Point గుర్తుంచుకోండి. Polythene addition polymerization, polyvinyl chloride addition polymerization. But they can have the weak van der Waals forces. ఇదే పాయింట్ చెప్తున్నాను. Weak van der Waals forces, less molecular strength. Weak van der Waals forces, they containing less mechanical strength. High van der Waals forces, high mechanical strength. Now they are containing the weak van der Waals forces. Now when we are applying temperature, they can easily remolded or reshape it. Now they can easily soluble in organic solvent. ఇప్పుడు చెప్పాను homogeneous, heterogeneous. Most of the polymers they can easily soluble in organic solvents. And these plastics can be reclaimed from the waste. And the plastic మనం ఏం చేయొచ్చు అంటే మళ్ళీ కలెక్ట్ చేయొచ్చు, కలెక్ట్ చేసిన తర్వాత రీమోల్డ్ చేయొచ్చు, రీషేప్ చేయొచ్చు. They can easily remold it, they can easily reshape it. And these plastics are soft and flexible. Thermoplastics అనే plastic cover నెక్స్ట్ ఇవన్నీ తీసుకోండి. they can easily flexible, which containing soft nature. Example, polythene, polyvinyl chloride, polystyrene, PTFE, polytetrafluoroethylene. Polytetrafluoroethylene అంటే టెఫ్లాన్ అని చెప్తారు. మళ్ళీ చెప్తాను. Polythene, polyvinyl chloride, polystyrene, and teflon. Now we will have the final conclusion for today's class. Thermoset plastics, which is not easily remolded or reshaped. Thermoset plastic containing the strong interchain forces. Once they are solidified, they cannot be softened. ఒకసారి మన థర్మోసెట్ ప్లాస్టిక్ ని మనం ప్రిపేర్ చేసిన తర్వాత మళ్ళీ మనం రీమౌల్డ్ కానీ రీషేప్ కానీ మనం చేయాలి. దే ఆర్ ఫార్మ్డ్ బై ద కండెన్సేషన్ స్టెప్. కండెన్సేషన్ పొలిమరైజేషన్ ద్వారా మనం ఏం చేస్తున్నాం? థర్మోసెట్ ప్లాస్టిక్ మనం ప్రిపేర్ చేస్తాం. దే కెనాట్ బి రీయూజ్డ్ ఆర్ రీషేప్డ్. మళ్ళీ మనం రీయూజ్ కానీ రీషేప్ కూడా చేయలేం. దే కెనాట్ బి రీక్లెయిమ్డ్ ఫ్రమ్ ద వేస్ట్. వేస్ట్ నుంచి మనం తీసుకొచ్చినా కూడా దాన్ని డంప్ చేయడమే తప్పించి రీమౌల్డ్ రీషేప్ చేయలేము. దే ఆర్ నోన్ టు బి హార్డ్, స్ట్రాంగ్ అండ్ బ్రిటిల్. హై బ్రిటిల్నెస్ ఉంటుంది. ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఏం లేదండి, ఇప్పుడు మన కంప్యూటర్ డెస్క్ ఉన్న చూస్తారా, కంప్యూటర్ డెస్క్ ఈజ్ మేడప్ ఆఫ్ బెకలైట్. బెకలైట్ ఇస్ ద బెస్ట్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఫర్ థర్మోసెట్. బెకలైట్ అనేది థర్మోసెట్ ప్లాస్టిక్స్ కి బెస్ట్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. ఓకే, నౌ వాట్ ఇస్ ద డిఫరెన్స్ బిట్వీన్ ద టూ కేసెస్ వెన్ యూ ఆర్ డిస్కసింగ్? When we are discussing about the two cases, the first condition I'm saying is a thermoplastic, the second condition I'm saying is thermoset. The difference between thermoset plastic. So చూద్దాం. The difference between thermo and thermoset plastic: thermoplastics containing flexibility, thermosets containing lower flexibility. Thermoplastics can easily remolded or reshaped. Thermosets may not be remolded or reshaped. Now, when we are discussing thermoplastic, polythene, polyvinyl chloride, polystyrene thermoplastics, bakelite is going to be that thermosets. Okay. Now it is all about today's lecture. Then do you have any queries?